is way beyond. For an example, a student comes and says, sir, I am very good with technicals and I have a plan. I can come up with a startup. I can incubate something. So what will be our answer as a part of a university? What answer we should give? Should we tell him, no, you go for a campus placement drive and take a job and go away? No. It should more than this. It should be more collaborative than this. It should be more responsive than this. How the incubation center can be developed, how the entrepreneurship cell and the entrepreneurship, which also comes into the part of placement, will be coming up in the future. You all will be seeing to it because I have actively worked in the EDP cells and the incubation cells. How the angel fundings can be granted, how the first basic question, how to start all these starting things can be there. Or for a student who is going for the first job in the first corporate life, he's going in a first day in an office after a selection process, how he should do it is just limited that हमने उसे train कर दिया, हमने उसे academically पढ़ा दिया, हमने उसे train कर दिया, उसके बाद उसको job दे दिया, and now student जाने उसका काम जाए. It is really not limiting to this. A career services division, a CSD or a training and placement cell have a larger work to do. It's all about connecting with the student that becomes their alumni at the later stage and to guide them and to make sure that the student do good, just not in the university, but just not in the placement, but post placements also. So this is how the feedback mechanism goes. This is how the complete interaction goes with the industry, and this is how you maintain the good relationship. For an example, if you talk with the placement officer, you normally expect a training and placement officer should say that 500 companies, 600 company, 1000 company gonna comes in. This is all the numbers we normally expect it from to come in. Of course, this gonna happen. We're gonna reach out to all the possible companies. We will reach out to the CXOs, CHROs. I particularly have a wide network of more than 6,000 HR personals. The SAU have a great visibility, have a great presence in not in Delhi but on the global platform. The association of SAARC, the relationship with the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, the great faculties we're gonna have. So all this thing will gonna turn up into a great phase, which is called the final placements. I particularly, if you talk about me, I feel very happy and contented to be the part of this university. Why? Because I'm sure that whatever the student which I'm gonna have, they're gonna come with a rigorous academic exercise. It is just not a student is just transiting from one semester or 1 year to another. The student is making all his efforts. वो मेहनत कर रहा है, उसको परेशानी भी हो रही है, प्रोजेक्ट वर्क भी कर रहा है. At last, but उसको ट्रेनिंग एंड प्लेसमेंट सेल के द्वारा internships भी दी जा रही हैं. Internship play a very vital and pivotal role in order to shape a student for a final placement. You cannot have a student working finely with the great companies if you do not give. And that is why this mandatory internship things came into the scene. That is why our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji started this internship scheme for the young skill graduate, so they can understand and they can rely on those admissible skills which are required to do the particular job. It's just not related to the theoretical knowledge which you study in the definitions or in a question paper or in answer books, but how it relates to the real life. So for that, we need to have a rigorous training programs. For that, I have a plan to induct 500 hours, approximately 500 hours of a rigorous training program where the student would be taught that what he is expected from the industry, how you need to perform. हर campus drive को crack करने के एक अपने तरीके होते हैं. If you talk about HSBC, you talk about Morgan Stanley, you talk about Gartner, all they have a different selection process. Some of the companies, like for example, some of the student you might be here, you might be asking that, sir, मैं Google में कैसे जाऊँगा, Microsoft में कैसे जाऊँगा, Hewlett Packard में कैसे जाएंगे, Centel में कैसे जाएंगे, Morgan में कैसे जाएंगे, Cisco में कैसे जाएंगे, Qualcomm, what is way to go into the Qualcomm. So all of the companies have a different way and a different pedagogies or a different strategies to crack the campus. You talk about Google, their selection process start with the resume shortlist. You talk about Infosys, they don't see resume at all. They see resume at the last of the stage because they first take the analytical test and the HR interview and the technical interview, and the last resume come into action. But if you talk about the dream companies, you talk about the dream offers, the resume is the first paper which is going to get shortlisted without even meeting you. So how a document play where an important role, where your interview can play an important role, where your you can say your this reasoning and numerical ability and your technical ability can play a very important role. So this is the work of a training and placement cell to understand. अगर मुझे आप लोगों को प्लेटफॉर्म देना है तो पहले तो हमें क्लियर होना पड़ेगा कि प्लेटफॉर्म मिलेगा कहाँ. You cannot catch the Rajdhani train coming on the second platform if it is coming on the first. It is very obvious. So that platform need to be curated, that platform need to be identified, and that identification work is being done correctly. 60% training and placement cell का काम यहाँ पे पूरा हो जाता है. If you identify the trainings, if you identify the companies, if you identify the strategies, if you identify which all the courses, which all the skills are required, you're done with it. For an example, let's pick up a guy who is doing a master's in business administration. Now I'm sending him to the company like HSBC without understanding that what the business analytics and what the case study is all about, and he's having a good knowledge in the academics and good knowledge with the numerical and analytical abilities, will be able to clear the interview? No, he will not. So it is just not the ability of a student, it's the ability of a, I'm again focusing on, I'm right now focusing on, because we are starting up, we are initiating, and we've been developing the training and placement cell. So it is an ability, it's a responsibility, it is a due diligence of a training and placement cell to do the needful in order to give the best to the student. There can be many ways, and there can be many roadmaps, like we need to do the industry mapping, that which all industry we gonna target, which all the industry wanna go in. उसके लिए हमें courses देखने पड़ते हैं, syllabus देखना पड़ता है. How we gonna make this SAU visible on the global platform or on the HR platform? By organizing HR conclaves, by organizing HR roundtables. Why not the HR come into the campus and can directly meet Karthik and the other student and ask them, Ki Karthik, how you are feeling with the university and what are the things you want to do here? What are the learnings you have got it from here? A training and placement officer is like you can say a public relation officer who has a ability to make everything looks very good, and that's what you might be feeling, right? But it requires a rigorous work. Placing 10,000 students in my career, it required just not efforts but a human touch. मैं ये बात हमेशा जब भी मैं कॉन्क्लेव्स में जाता हूँ, एचआर कॉन्क्लेव में जाता हूँ, हमेशा कहता हूँ, एक प्लेसमेंट ऑफिसर बिना ह्यूमन टच के नहीं बन सकता. You are giving someone their career. I am doing right now, I am working as an assistant director in South Asian University. I am building my career. I am in my career. When I have aspirations in my career, when anybody who is here, who are the venerable speakers we have, all we have a career aspirations doing right now at this, after gaining such experiences, the students will also be having it. And that need to be understood, that need to be respected, that need to be curated, that need to be communicated. A communication is a very viable and a very great option. कभी कभी स्टूडेंट आके बोलता है कि सर मुझे ये नहीं ये चाहिए, मैं आपको कभी मैं बता नहीं पाया बिकॉज आई एम फ्रॉम इंजीनियरिंग, बट मुझे जॉब नॉन इंजीनियरिंग में करना है, मुझे टेक्नो कमर्शियल में जाना है. सो ये वो बात किसको बताएगा? This is a training and placement in a career division cell where he wanna come, where he wanna say, where he wanna express the ideas, where he feel that he's free to make the training and placement cell understand what he wants, and therefore we can act, and therefore we can collaborate, and therefore we can guide her to say ki no, you have to do this and you do this. If a student can come after seeing a job that we need to go for, sir, I feel I need to go and offer Ivy League University for a greater career or for a greater global exposure, will the training and placement cell say no, it is not our job? No, it is our job. So in short, what I want to say and what I want to deliver it to you, that if you talk about the career augmentations, if you talk about career cohesion, you talk about career interaction, you talk about career counseling. Career counseling is a very common word in sabka agar dekha jaye. The training and placement cell will be the solution for you guys. We have a great experience, we have a great professors, the university have a great reputations. We are coming from the past experience, we are working with the great universities, handling a great number of students. If we have chosen this university, choosing our career path, you make sure that how much you will be in good hands. So we know what is the modus operandi. We know how the things will done, how the things will put on the table, फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट ईयर पहले ट्रेनिंग एंड प्लेसमेंट सेल का काम है वो फोर्थ ईयर में स्टार्ट हुआ करता था. जब मैं 2012-13 में काम करता था तो बच्चे हमारे पास 7 सेम में आया करते थे अगर इंजीनियरिंग की बात करें, और अगर मैनेजमेंट की बात करें तो थर्ड सेमेस्टर में आते. But now the things has been changed. From the very first year, the training and placement cell induct themselves with the student. The preparation start because the industry is changing right now. You see, the curriculum is getting changed. अभी रेशमा मैम ने बताया how what are the technical syllabus and how she cares about the technical things. Why she is so up to it? Because the technical world is changing in a very fast pace. I cannot expect a student to taught the technology in 2025 and the same student being a product will be getting placed in 2029. No, I need to make him industry ready so he can be a placeable candidate in 2029 or 2028, whichever year he or she is passing in. So that future visualization should come into place. और वो फ्यूचर विजुअलाइजेशन तब आएगा जब ट्रेनिंग एंड प्लेसमेंट सेल का फ्यूचर विजुअलाइजेशन हो. Any future prospect come from experience. Any future prospects come from energy, the power, and the exposure which we have. If you talk about, for example, let's make it out of 700 in industry. It is my expertise. It is my subject area. It is my the area where I am working. You talk about Gartner. Who's the VP? I can tell you who is the VP. Who is that? So if we know the point of contact, we know what they want. Then we should also know what a student need and what a student require. And particularly with the great university, if you compare the universities of IIT, IIMs, or any of the National Institute of Importance, I always say, the academics is the background, it's the backbone. Placement is the byproduct. Placement is never the frontline activity, it is an auxiliary activity. It is a byproduct and a final product of a student which has been prepared by the academics and given it to placement cell. But now you can say the process is changed. Now academics plus training and placement cell, because the training placement cell have a greater job to do. So I think I've told you enough about it. There can be more if I keep speaking and keep telling you, I can tell you more about 1 hour to what the things can be done, how it should be done. But more than this, I feel that a connection should be established. जैसे टीचर और स्टूडेंट के बीच में एक गुरु शिष्य का रिश्ता होता है, वैसे ही एक प्लेसमेंट ऑफिसर और एक स्टूडेंट के बीच में भी एक होता है, जिसको गुरु शिष्य का तो नाम नहीं दिया जा सकता, बट देयर कैन बी अ डिफरेंट नेम एंड नॉमेनक्लेचर कैन बी गिवन. सो वो जब आप लोग आओगे, जब मेरे से बात करोगे, जब ट्रेनिंग एंड प्लेसमेंट पूरा सेल बन गया है, नाउ फिजिकली इट नीड टू बी डिजाइन व्हिच विल बी वेरी सून, you will understand how the things will move on. And I am sure that that my energy will match your vibes. I use the word vibe because the generation you are in, and I use the word energy because the age I am in. So I'm sure that it's gonna go well. It's gonna go great. God bless you all. Thank you so much for your active and patientful listening.